One of my clients, I was doing a leadership meeting with a company called Parker Hannifin. Parker Hannifin is a global leader in hydraulic systems. So the hydraulics in an Airbus or a Boeing jet, the hydraulics in a factory, the hydraulics in many a hydro plant. And, I was talking to one of their key researchers, and he was saying, the impact of accelerating science on us has certainly been seen. He said, if you take a hydraulic engineer, the rate of knowledge that they've had to know has grown at a furious pace in the past. He said years ago, the typical hydraulic engineer, their holy grail of hydraulic engineering is the concept of regenerative technology. Something you learn at university, is something you're always studying and always thinking about. And he said, think about it in the context of a bicycle. What we're always thinking about is how could you build a bicycle which has a hydraulic system so that as you go down the hill, the excess energy is captured so that it can be reused as you go up the hill. It's not going to do anything for the North American obesity crisis. It's just an important scientific pursuit. And he said, if you think about it, 10 years ago, our scientists, they used to go to the occasional conference. They'd read the occasional publication. They'd talk to their fellow researchers on an occasional basis. The world of hydraulic science tended to evolve at a relatively slow and steady pace. And then everybody plugged in. The internet came along. And all of a sudden we found ourselves in the midst of this big global idea machine. And the rate of scientific discovery in the world of regenerative technology is now exponentiating. It's speeding up. The volume of knowledge that we need to know is doubling every 8 years, and that number is decreasing. That is what is happening in the world of innovation. Just 3 weeks ago, the Perimeter Institute for Research down in Waterloo, sponsored by RIM, brought together a whole bunch of the brightest minds in the Canadian and global energy industry and mapped out what is happening and where is our opportunity. And they said, if you think about what is occurring, we are witnessing extremely rapid scientific advance in terms of innovation occurring with battery storage. We are witnessing huge rates of innovation and development in terms of enhanced geothermal technologies. We are witnessing faster advance with advanced nuclear and off-grid power and smart technology coming into the industry compared to even a year ago. And it is the ability of an organization to ride the speed of the trends and exploit and take advantage of the knowledge that is emerging and the methodologies and the capabilities that will define our future success. And so here we are today. At MIT, scientists have figured out how to print solar cells onto a piece of paper. What does this do in terms of the velocity of change that is occurring within the industry? Do we have any idea of how quickly this is going to come to change the scope of the opportunity in terms of what could happen? We think about what is happening with hybrid development. We think about what is happening with charging concepts. And there is a company that has developed not a complicated infrastructure, but you drive your car into the garage and it does wireless charging. You look at the partners they've signed on. Duke Energy, Clemson University, Avis Hertz Rent-A-Car, Google. Sears has committed to nationwide installation and support. People are thinking big, and technology and ideas and methodologies are evolving faster than ever before. Now, I think the key to going forward into the future is to think about the concept of experiential capital. Utilities survive based on the depth of their financial capital, the financial resources we have at hand. But what's the depth of our experiential capital? There's so much that is happening, so many new ideas, so many new capabilities. Do we have the experience within our organization to take advantage of these? Or do we need to build up that experience? And that's where you take on a number of projects that are designed and specifically put together to build up experience in areas where we are weak. Because experiential capital is going to be as important going forward in the future as our financial capital.